Hi, everybody. I'm Robin, and these are my reflections. So, today, let's talk about these Black Hollywood romance stars oracle decks. This is part one, and this is part two, and they are both by Queen Sugar Tarot. I will link her channel where she talks about this one. I will link the video where she talks about this deck. And I will also link her Etsy shop in the description box below in case you're interested in purchasing either one of these. Um, she does have periodic sales for, so watch for those. And then I just kind of wanted to just flip through them. So let's get started. So this is part one and this is part two. So I am going to start with part one, and you can take a look. So when she was making these decks, they come in hard boxes, both of them hard. Let's just talk about the production quality really quick. They come in the hard two-part boxes. For Make playing cards, they're essentially the same on both sides. They say enjoy a romantic oracle deck inspired by Black love. Let the Black Hollywood romance stars guide you along your love journey. And then this one says inspired by Black love stories. Let the second edition Black Hollywood romance stars guide you along your love journey. And then there's a few images of the cards there on the back. As far as the quality, inside the box is white. The cards, I think there are 50 or 55 cards. They are glossy and Make playing cards stock or Printer Studio, something like that. Just typical playing card stock. Let's get rid of this. And yeah, I actually had this one first. I had pre-ordered it when she first released it. Loved it, and as soon as I saw the other one pop up, I went ahead and grabbed that one as well. Pre-ordered that one as well. So she said that the inspiration that she had for creating these decks, and I will link the video where she talks about this one below, and she flips through it. Let's just look at that, Lawrence in there. Where she talks about how she was, she wanted the romance angels, but it was out of print. Also, it was a little bit out of style. So she just was like, I'm going to, what have I done? I'm going to, um, create my own. And she did. And she made it melanated. So, they're similar to the romance angel where you have a title at the top and then like a statement at the bottom. So it says past life. There may be a past life connection or unfinished business with this person. And then the image is from either a movie, a TV show, mostly movie. It's movies and TV shows. And they're from different generations. So like this is a different world. That was from the 80s, and this is from This Is Us. That's from now. Like this show, I think just went off the air maybe 1 or 2 years ago as I'm filming this. A lot of this one, the pink one, which is the first one, I would say that this is it's very sweet. It's very soft, a la the Doreen Virtue decks, right? There's not a lot of what would you call it? I don't want to say negative. I want to say there's not a lot of contrast to it, right? Because it's like mostly, there's like some action, some timing, mostly state of mind and emotion and state of relationships. Like, you have magnetic souls. Your sacred souls are instantly drawn towards each other. You have courting. This period of development towards a romantic relationship is important. This time will help you both see if marriage is in the cards. And just some advice. Harvest. You planted the seed that the universe gave you. Due to your patience and growth, you are now able to enjoy the fruits of your labor. So you can harvest, right? And you got Whitney and Dwayne there. Some of the images do repeat. Not the images don't repeat at all, but some of the TV shows or the movies repeat. Like you may see multiple scenes from one show or two. They are very lovely. I love the images. I love the treatment that she's put on them to sort of make them feel dreamy and, angelic, if you will, heavenly. And I love the reminiscence of these shows. Like I like that they make me think about fabulous black couples on TV and in the movies that I've loved over the years. Like, we all love This Is Us, right? This is from the photograph. I'm not sure where this image is from. Love Jones. These are movies. Some of these movies I grew up with. The Photograph again. This is an older movie. Maybe this is. I can't remember her name. From the 50s. What is it? Dorothy Dandridge, maybe? That's Whitney and Dwayne. Not really sure who this is, but I don't know that movie. I can't remember. I know that one. So yeah, some of these people we know, some of them we don't. But even if you don't know, I feel like, cause like when I first got this deck, I hadn't finished watching the Insecure the Insecure show yet. I was way behind, like a year or two behind. I didn't know, and I hadn't seen If Beale Street Could Talk, so I didn't know some of these images. And now I've watched the rest of that show, and I have seen If Beale Street Could Talk. So some of these images, make more sense to me. But even before I knew exactly what was happening in the show or exactly what was happening in the movie, the images still kind of like are very emotive. Like she picked really good images to go with. Like you could see, it says annoyance, and you could clearly see annoyance in this picture, even if you don't know this relationship between Whitney and Dwayne, right? So it says, you or your partner may be annoyed right now. Give each other space to cool off to avoid more arguments. So that's like perfect, right? Um, yeah, so that is part one. And so I did take a couple of the cards out of part one that I wanted to just talk about. In part one, there were these two cards, and there was one called Love Language and one called Quality Time. And for those of you who don't know, Quality Time is one of the 5 love languages. There was a book that was released, I want to say about maybe 10 years ago, about what they call love language. There are 5 love languages. And in this deck, she put a love language card and she put a quality time card. When she released part 2, I felt like part 2 was like the perfect companion to part 1. It did not overlap in any way. There were no things that I went through every card by card. Nothing felt like it was giving me the same energy. Everything just really felt very yin and yang. And also, we got the other love languages. So we got gifts and offers. We got acts of service, physical touch, and words of affirmation to go with quality time. And now we have all 5 love languages and the love language card. So that's nice if you get both decks. I do really enjoy to mix them. So I have not used one or the other separately. As soon as the second one came in, this is part 2, I automatically just mix them. They do come gilded on the edges there, both decks. And the cardstock on the blue deck is just a little bit thinner than the cardstock on, because they have the same amount of cards, but this is just tiny bit thinner than the pink deck. So you can, when you're holding them next to each other, it looks like there's less cards in this deck than in this one, but I think it's the same amount of cards. I'm pretty sure. It's just that the cardstock is just a little bit thinner. And I mixed it, see, you can see they look like there's more, but there's not. And so when I mix the cards together, you can't tell the difference in the stock at all. Like I use them together. I've used them together since they came in. I can't tell the difference in the stock at all. So these are the backs. The back of the pink one is the same. It just says Black Hollywood Romance Stars Oracle Deck with Queen Sugar Tarot. They are not reversible. I mean, you can reverse them if you want, but you know, if you pay attention to the backs of the decks, they're not reversible. And this is the front. They're wonderful. I think what I did here is I took out, this deck actually had more what I would call that shadow side of a relationship. So I took all of those out and put them at the top so that we could look at them first. Sort of those shadow messages like unexpected news and ghosting, being at odds, and secrets. And so it really became the perfect companion to the other one, because when I had the first one, I used the first one a lot. But and this one says price of love. Are you willing to make an investment when it comes to love? Are you ready to pay the toll? Remember that love is not a destination but a journey. There's a deck out there by on the Kaleidodope website. Crystal Banner, I think is her name. She just released a Oracle deck with Hay House, which I want to get. This this Price of Love, I think, is one of her decks, and I actually was looking at it. Um, I'm interested, so that reminded me that I need to look back at that. But anyways, so Dead End and Apology. If you have the Price of Love deck, let me know below. Are you using it? How's it going? Drama, Old Feelings, Tough Conversations. And so you can see that, like, she added in some of that, some of those shadow aspects to just sort of balance out, um, the lighter aspects, because the other one is light heavy. So if you want something light heavy, or you want something just, feel good, go with the pink one. If you want something with a little more shadow, like a balance of shadow and light, go with the blue one. And that would be my suggestion there. If you can, I would say get them both. I love them both and I use them both. And like I said, she does have sales periodically, so I would say wait for a sale. Um, and one thing I will also say, just to let you know, is that a lot of the times I think she prints on demand, so you may have to wait for the deck. Like, it's not going to come right away. She has to like have it printed a lot of the time, so you just wait. It's okay. They will come. It's gonna come, and it's gonna be fabulous when it gets there. I love the sisterhood card. But yeah, I think that these decks are wonderful. I did want to share them with the internet and go through every card, flip through every card so everybody can see them. Soul Ties, Happily Ever After. This is so sweet. See, I hadn't seen the end of this show um, when I got this, because I don't know, I just stopped watching it at like season 3 or something like that, and I don't know how these get all crazy like this. Oh, these were the yeah. Um, so I stopped watching it, and so I missed a lot of the that show, and so some of these images didn't make any sense to me. But now, now that I've seen it, I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that part. I remember that part. I remember this because this was from the beginning of the show, and this, every time I see this card, it cracks me up. It's supposed to be kind of like a. It's not. It's supposed to be a serious card. It says, "Don't fall for the trap of always listening to your ego. Trust the guidance of your true self, because our egos can easily influence our thinking with fear." So this is a very serious message, right? This is a very serious message. But this image, this image, and this scene, and that's what I mean. Like, these are feel good decks for me. Like, you know how they have that feel good decks or good mood decks. These are good mood decks for me. I love them. I think they make me laugh. They make me smile to think about these movies and these shows and these scenes of these romantic, times. And yeah, I like me a good romance novel or romance movie or whatever. So yeah, so that's fun. Now, I have been shuffling them together, so I'm going to shuffle them separately so you can kind of see how they shuffle. They're very, very shuffleable. No problems for riffle. If you want to riffle, they're glossy, so they overhand with no issues. I do have small hands, so if you see them popping out, it's because my hands are small. But they are normal tarot size. Let me see. This is the Hoodoo Tarot, which is just a little bit smaller than tarot size. And you can see that they are basically normal tarot size. And, they shuffle with no problems. That's the second one. Same with the first. It shuffles the same. Perfect riffle, perfect bridge. Overhands very silkily. Now this one I've had a lot longer and I've used it a lot, and you can see that the edging is holding up, and I overhand and riffle when I shuffle. And you can see that my edging is holding up very, very well. I don't have any chips on my cards, so the quality on these cards is excellent. Um, and so I do appreciate that. Now I shuffle them together. Um, and I like to work with them together. So what I do is she gave me 2 boxes. So I keep, because a lot of times when you buy part 1 and part 2 of something, the second one won't come with a box, right? So since we got 2 boxes, what I do is I just shuffle them all together. And then I just split them and put half in one box and half in the other. And then I pull whichever box moves me at the moment. However, you could maybe get like a bigger bag or have someone custom you a bag. I know Crochet Witch Wears, Krista over at Crochet Witch Wears does custom bags. I know Peggy Pepez has large bags. I don't think that she does customs, but there are plenty of people who do custom bags. So let's look at them laid out together. So you can kind of see if you were going to mix them, how they would look. Yeah, get a kind of a feel. They are very glossy, but they're not sticky glossy. They move great over each other, slide right over each other with no problems. They're not sticky. Not like, that tacky glossy like Blue Angels cards used to be. I'm so glad Blue Angels new cards don't shuffle that fabulously, but they feel nice and they definitely shuffle better than they used to, in my opinion. Because that sticky gloss, I have a few of those sticky gloss decks, and that stuff used to get on my nerves. And I'm not a person that will usually let cardstock stop me, but that sticky gloss, man, I have a deck. What is it called? The Life Purpose Oracle or something like that. I love the deck. I try to pull from it, but that whenever I pull it out and I touch that sticky, tacky, glossy stock, it gets on my nerves. Like, I still have one Blue Angel deck left with that sticky cardstock that I haven't changed out, and I probably won't. Just rocking with it, but I'm saying all that to say I appreciate this stock because it's much nicer than that sticky gloss that I can't stand. But anyways, this is the Black Hollywood Romance Stars, and they are fabulous. I hope that this helped anyone who was thinking about maybe ordering one or the other and couldn't make up their mind. Or if they're thinking about getting both, I hope that I could just help you out a little bit. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you would like to see more of my videos, go ahead and subscribe. I do try to release videos I'm going to try to release videos every 5 days. I do appreciate chatting with you. I love to chat with people. So if you have anything to say, if you have a sec, if you've been using it, if you, what are you doing with it? How are you using it? How is it working for you? How are your clients liking it? If you read for people, or your friends loving it, tell me all the things. All right, guys, I will leave you with that. Stay safe and be blessed. Bye now.